All right, Ben Domenech is here with me this morning. I'm saying Doge is the most important part of Trump's new administration. Am I going too far?
Only in the sense that I think that the national security side of things, the border, et cetera, is probably paramount in terms of the list of issues. But when it comes to domestic reform, I think you're completely right. Look, there has been so much effort over the years to have these various commissions that looked at trying to find ways to go after the waste, fraud, and abuse that we're all familiar with. But we just have gone through a period in which the doors were blown off in terms of the level of fraud that we saw as so much money was flowing out of the Biden administration in the wake of the COVID pandemic, as you saw so many of these flows that were not properly authorized and were not overseen properly, with money going to entities that had already been flagged by the government as being places that did not deserve to receive any kind of funding. The simple fact is that they're coming in at a moment when the level of fraud and waste is higher than it's ever been. And that's something that I think actually gives us hope that some outside voices will actually have the president's ear, have his imprimatur to look after all of these things, and actually be heard by him, as opposed to just being viewed as one more thing to check the box of, oh, well, we tried, and move on from there. Waste and fraud, Stuart, is undefeated in the history of Washington, D.C. And so I'm very happy that there's at least something now to take it on.
Yeah, well put, Ben. I want you to listen to MSNBC's Joy Reid meltdown over Donald Trump's cabinet picks. Roll it.
This amount of effort exerted on individuals who are exceptional in their lack of qualifications, you have to openly wonder what they've promised Trump and what he promised them in return. You hire individuals who have issues that can only be resolved by a powerful king, and then that king, Donald Trump, gets permanent loyalty and obedience in return, which involves destroying any impartial federal system and twisting it in his favor and that of his favored friends and corporations.
Ben, has she got a point? I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine?
Absolutely not. This is absurd. The idea, by the way, that Trump can't appoint loyalists, I certainly saw Joe Biden appointing a bunch of people who weren't going to be loyal to him. Oh, wait, no, the opposite. Look, you had people in the last administration like Javier Becerra over at HHS who had no background whatsoever in what they were doing. They were hired. In his case, he was the former California Attorney General, to essentially be political hatchet men or legal hatchet men for the bureaucracies that they represented. Let the bureaucrats run free, do whatever they want, and your job is to fight it out in the courts and in the court of public opinion. Now, they weren't very good at that. We saw the utter failure of Alejandro Mayorkas in particular. But I think what we have here is a group of people coming together who all have strong communication skills. They're all familiar with the subject matter that they're going to be dealing with. And yes, while you can say that many of them have not run major departments or things of that nature, this mandate was for outside voices, was for a lot of people who are going to be new and shake up the system. And that requires you picking people who aren't beholden to it and aren't just thinking about which board they're going to when they're done working for the American people.
Trump knows what he wants and he knows how to get it. That's good stuff. Ben Domenech, thanks very much for joining us. I know we see you again. Thank you.